My name is Ilker Çatak. I'm the writer, co-writer, and director of The Teacher's Lounge, a movie about a young idealistic teacher who gets into trouble. Well, my co-writer and I, Johannes and I, we went to school together, and there was an incident that we remembered when we were on one of our hiking vacations, and that incident was actually pretty. It was just we never talked about it, but it just came up, and it is about the rate that we had to that we experienced in our time in school. And yeah, and when while we were talking about this, we thought this could be a good kickoff for a story. And now when you watch the film, you can see that very scene in the beginning of the film. The film is about basically it's about, like, when we were writing it, we thought, okay, school is a good place for, like, school you can use as a little model for society, because you have really similar structures. You have the dean, like the president, and you have people in charge and with power, and then you have like the people, the students, and you have the newspaper, the school paper, and all, and you have a society in a little miniature. And we were kind of bugged by our times and the way we are, like, the debate culture has shifted, where everybody is just screaming and yelling and trying to be right instead of listening. And the whole thing with the cancel culture and with fake news, that really bugged us, and we wanted to kind of emulate the whole chaos that we experienced ever since 2016 up to today, in that film. And we wanted to make a film about truth and how truth can be bent and how it can be, fit, made as how truth, how people just instrumentalize things, as well as the incident that I was talking about. It's also about children's rights. So we weren't aware of our rights when we were back in school, and when the teachers came into the class and wanted us to put the wallets on the table and have a look at them. So we thought, okay, if we are living in a democracy right now, then somebody had to pay for it at some point. And the resistance that is in there has, like, there is a lot of humanity. And we wanted to kind of, there were a lot of topics, as you can imagine. I think I was 15 or 14, a little older than the kids that were in the film. We didn't question it because back then, you didn't have WhatsApp, you didn't have email. Like, it was a thing that happens in a classroom, was not as quickly, didn't circle around just like nowadays. And nowadays it's much harder for a teacher, because something happens and there is one WhatsApp group where every parent is in, and the parents are like, they're furious, and they also don't want to take responsibility. So, and just unload it to the teachers. And when we did our research, that was just, man, those teachers, they have to, that's a job. That's a job I wouldn't want to do. And I have immense respect for everybody who says, I'm going to do this and I'm going to become a teacher, because it's just, at puberty, children in puberty, you don't want to deal with them. So Leonie Benesch is, to me, is one of the best actors of her generation. And I saw her 14 years ago in The White Ribbon of Michael Haneke. And ever since, she's like, I wanted to work with her because she was just so good in that film, and in any other film I saw with her as well. Even if the films weren't good, she was always brilliant. And my co-writer Johannes and I, we would put up images on our walls while writing this script, and just images of people, dead or alive, it doesn't matter, just to get an idea for the character. And there would be images of different people, like people we know we won't work with, or we know, they but her image was there from the very beginning. And I wanted to, like, I wrote this piece for her, basically. and I think there is a hidden energy in there. If that really matches, and if, of course, I didn't know if she would accept the role or if she would have the time to do it, but when she did, it was just, we didn't have to talk much because she and I, we were on set. It was just a bit, how do you say, telepathic. And I would do, like, she would suggest something in a scene, and I would say, perfect, let's move on. And my DP would turn to me and say, hey, don't you want to do another take? Because, maybe we should, you know, say, do some coverage. Or I was like, no, 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 it's okay. She's good. I don't need more. And we would, every day we would wrap up an hour earlier or so. And that's because of her. She's just brilliant. That's something I really love about a great actor, that they read the script and they just know. Like, she would never come to me and ask for backstory or anything like that. It was just, she just there's an intuition, and that intuition is just so valuable to me as a director, because she knows. And if there is anything I don't like, I will always say, okay, please, let's do this like this. But it rarely happened. It was just a gift to work with her. The biggest highlight, of course, was working with 23 children in that age, 12, 13. It was just, we would start the day with a conversation. Children cannot be allowed on set longer than 3 hours in Germany, and there was some time pressure. But I thought, okay, if we have time pressure, then I need to do the opposite. So I would take like half an hour in the beginning of the day, just starting a conversation and asking them, hey, what did you dream about? Well, how do you feel? What are your dreams? What are your fears? How hard is it for you to apologize? What's your relationship to your parents? Like, I would, I would talk to them and try and understand what their thinking was. And I think for them, I would ask, what do you want to become when you're a grown up? And they would say, we want to be actors. And I would go like, hey, why do you want to be actors? Yeah, because we want to be rich and we want to buy an island and we want to have 3 houses. I said, come on, guys, it can't be this banal. What are we doing here? And I think that was the most remarkable moment in the entire shoot. What are we doing here? And they were like, yeah, we're shooting a film. And I was like, no, no. What we are doing here, we're putting ourselves to the service of art, and what we're doing is bigger than we are, because one day we're all going to be dead. But this film will be there, and your children and grandchildren will watch it. And yeah, I would have these conversations in the morning, and my DP would run the camera, and Leonie would be there. And at some point, I would say, okay, now we go into the scene. I would get them into the temperature. And that was just an experience that you don't have every day, because 23 children, smart and, curious and hungry for life. That was just something.